Hey, what's up everybody? I wanted to do a video about grep again, but this time speaking about regular expressions. I did a video already about grep if you're not sure what it is and how to use it and what options to use with it. I advise you to watch my previous video. And what I would encourage you to do as well is to download the files which are linked in the description for you to try along with me in a terminal the command line I'm using and the regular expressions I'm trying to do with you. You should try them, you should play with them, and from time to time I will ask you a question in the video and you can pause the video at that point if you want and try to answer them by finding the good regular expression to match what I ask you to match. Another thing, so these files are downloadable in the link from the description. If you have those files already from the previous video, you should download them again because these files are not exactly the same to film my purposes in this video. What I advise you to do if you are blocked, you can consult the manual of grep, which is very complete and which can give you many options, many information about grep, about regular expression, and it's always a good read. It's all right. That being said, let's dive in regular expression with grep. So first of all, what's a regular expression? And it's a specific kind of pattern of character allowing you to match text from left to right. In the previous video, we did already regular expressions without knowing it. Why? Because when you do this, which means I'm trying to find the string of character pacman in pacman.log, grep will interpret your pattern pacman as a regular expression. In that case, it will just match pacman. But let's say I want to match opening square bracket 2020, like at the beginning of some lines in my output here. I could do that, but it doesn't work. And why it doesn't work? It's because regular expressions use metacharacters, and those metacharacters have a special meaning. Grep, without any option, will consider your pattern as a regular expression, so it will try to use the meaning of opening square bracket to match something specific. And it won't try to match the character opening square bracket itself. If you want to really match the character, you can use backslash to escape the character, which means that grep will search opening square bracket this time and won't try to interpret the meaning of opening square bracket. And it works. Another way to do it is to use -f for fixed string, which means that your pattern won't be considered a regular expression at all. No meta character or other tool you can use in regular expression will work in your pattern if you use -f uppercase. So if you do that, in that case, it works too. Now, there is other subtleties about regular expression, or regex, is that grep can use different flavors of regular expression. The thing is, with regular expression, something important I think to understand is there is no standard. Programming languages and tools using regular expressions will use their own flavors of regular expression, which means that from one programming language or from one tool to another, your regular expressions might not work. That being said, in modern languages, regular expressions are from a common parent most of the time, which is Perl regular expression. And because of that, they are more or less compatible. but more or less, which means that some meta characters and some other tools you can use in regular expression won't necessarily work. For grep itself, grep can use 3 different flavors of regular expression. If you don't specify any option with grep, like we do here, grep will take your pattern and use basic regular expression flavor to match your pattern. What does it mean? It means that here on the right there is the most common meta characters used by regular expression flavors. Those meta characters in the basic regular expression flavor of grep won't all be used. Like for example, if you use plus with the basic regular expression of grep, it will match as the character plus and not as the meaning of the meta character plus. If you want, I mean, it's a bit complicated, and if you want really to use regular expression, you could use two other flavors of grep regular expression, which are extended regular expression minus e, and this time grep will definitely include all the meta characters here, and you can do regular expression without asking yourself, okay, is this meta character included? Can I use it in my regular expression or not? Even better, as I was saying, you can use minus p uppercase, which means that grep this time will use the Perl regular expression flavor, which is most commonly used in many other regex flavors. Personally, I use either way E or P because, I mean, the regular expression Perl flavor bring many other stuff that the extended regular expression doesn't bring, but at the end it's not that much, so it depends on the complexity. I would, for simplicity's sake, I would advise you to always use minus F if you don't want to use regular expression at all in your pattern. Minus P if you want to use regular expression in your pattern of text. So that's what we will do. Another thing I want to say here is that you might see in different scripts or different tutorials pgrep or egrep or fgrep. Respectively, is the same as doing grep minus p, grep minus e, and grep minus f, like I just explained. The difference is pgrep, egrep, and fgrep are totally deprecated. So even if you see it somewhere, I mean, you can let it, of course, and you don't have necessarily to fix it. But if you write yourself regular expression in a script, or if you use regular expression even in your command line, I would strongly advise you to not use pgrep, egrep, or fgrep. Always use grep minus p uppercase, grep minus e uppercase, grep minus f uppercase. All right, let's dive a bit more in regular expressions themselves this time. So first thing, I want to grep 1 in the file haskell.log. And if I do that, I have this result, which grep and match the word one from one space to another, but as well a substring, like you can see here. One is part of the word warning, so it is matched as well, and it's not what I want. What I want is to only match the word one beginning by a space and ending by a space. To do that, you can do minus W for word, And this time it will only match the word worn. Another way to do it is to use \b around your word, and it will work as well. So \b is a token. You can see on the right that I put it here. It's a token, and there are many tokens you can use in regular expression, and like metacharacters, it has a very precise meaning. The good thing with \b is if you have a longer regular expression, it can match only the word you want and other stuff afterwards or before. It's more selective than using -w, where your entire pattern should be a word. All right, next, I would like to match a date in pacman.log. As you can see here, at the beginning of each line there is a date, and it's the creation date of the log itself. If I go up in the output, you can see that some logs were created in 2019 and some others were created in 2020. What I want to do is match only the logs created in 2020. I could begin by doing that, and I don't even need a regular expression for that. I just want to match 2020. The problem with that is it will match any 2020, and if there is 2020 in the middle of the line without any link to the creation date of the log itself, well, it will have a wrong result, exactly like here. So if I really want to only output the logs from 2020, I need, first of all, to match opening square bracket, and I want that only at the beginning of the line. And for that, you can use a caret character, this character, which means simply beginning of the line. It's called as well an anchor. So if we do that, this time, if we go up in the output, you can see that we only display and output the logs which were created in 2020. All right, what about in haskell.log? I want to see the tasks which were done in this log file. If I do that, I will have this output, and you can see the last lines. It's exactly what I want to output. Only the tasks which were done, which means there is a word done at the end of the line. You can see the first results, done isn't pretty, is something I don't want. It's just some name of some programs. So I don't want that. I only want lines with done at the end of the line. To do that, I can use $, and here we go. If I want to be even more precise, since I want the word done at the end of the line, and done could be a substring as well, I can do that. And you can see here, \b, only around done, says, okay, I want done as a word at the end of the line. Exactly like that. So let's do some exercises now. What if in haskell.log, I want only the lines beginning with HTTP? You can pause the video if you want and try to answer the question. So here's the solution. You can do grep first, matching HTTP in haskell.log, and you don't need any regular expression for that, you can see that it will match HTTP in the middle of the line or at the beginning of the line, and it's not what we want. What we want is only HTTP at the beginning of the line. So I need a regular expression for that, and I need to use a caret, exactly like that, and now I have only HTTP at the beginning of the line. Another exercise. What if I want in pacman.log only the whole word sane? So one way to do that, again, I can begin by grepping sane in pacman.log just to see the results. And you can see indeed that there is sane airskin, for example, which is a whole word, but I'm matching the substring of that, and I don't want that. I only want to match the whole word sane. So I can use a regular expression, and I can just use this, and this time I only match the whole word. Another way to do it is to use -w, and you have the same result. All right, last exercise, and then we can move forward. In pacman.log, I want to match only the whole word sane, but at the end of the line. To do that, you need to search sane in pacman.log. We did that already. Only at the end of the line, we need to use a $sign to say, hey, I want sane, I want to match sane, and then it's the end of the line. And now we have sane indeed at the end of the line, but we have insane as well, which is not what we want because we want the whole word. So what you can do is that. And this time we have what we want. All right, moving forward, let's see now how we can match any character. So let's say I want in pacman.log only the command pacman.log followed by an option. One option or multiple options. And most of the time, an option begins by minus. So I can try to match minus plus any characters after that, which is a point. The point is a metacharacter, which means any character. And of course, I need to use Perl regular expression to be totally safe. And now it doesn't work. And why? It's because when I use minus in my pattern, grep thinks that I want to use an option, the option point here, which doesn't exist. So how to fix that? You have multiple possibilities. First of all, you can escape your minus like that, and it will work. Or you can use minus minus here, which means after this minus minus, I won't use any options anymore. I will do other stuff, but I won't use options. So grep won't try to interpret your minus afterwards as an option. And it output exactly the same. However, what I wanted is the command pacman and followed by one or multiple options. So it doesn't really work because, as you can see here, I'm matching minus, which is good, but I'm matching as well any character afterwards, and I want pacman followed by a space followed by any option, point representing any character. If I do that now, it looks like it works. You can see that I have pacman minus, and I have now as output matched any pacman command line followed by an option, one option or multiple. Another thing is that you can use space like that, but sometimes, let's say I want to use space like that, it's not really readable and it's easy to miss. So what you can do is \s for whitespace, which match space, but as well tabulation, for example, and other whitespace considered characters. If you do that, you will have exactly the same results. You can do pacman like that. So it's a neat little trick to use whitespace. Another thing is, in some situation, like in Vim, for example, it won't, depending on what regular expression flavor you use in your search, it won't let you use spaces. So this \s is pretty nice to know. All right, moving on. Now we will see how to match a range of character. What do I mean? For example, if I do this, what it means is I want to match list, and before preceding list, I want either D or O, and that's why it outputs and match O list and D list. So this is called a character class, and you can put many characters in it, and these characters will be matched. You have to be careful with a character class because some metacharacters have a special meaning in there. For example, if you use the caret here, it means, as we saw, beginning of the line. But if you use it here, it means I don't want to match D or O, but any other character. So it inverse, if you want, or negate your what's inside your character class. If I do that, I'm only matching B list, which is not O list or not D list. B is different of D and O. Another character which has a special meaning in character class is the ifans, or minus, and it has only a special meaning when it has a character before and a character after. And what does it mean? It means that you want to match everything from A to Z. It's a range. So if I do that, I will range the whole alphabet, but the whole alphabet lowercase. If you want to range every letters, lowercase and uppercase, you need to do that. I want to range from A to Z lowercase and A to Z uppercase. And it has the same output because we don't have anything with a letter preceding list uppercase. All right, exercise time. What if we want to match any character followed by a list in pacman.log? How would you do that? Well, you want to match any character, the point, followed by a list in pacman.log. And here we go. Another exercise for you. Let's try to match list followed by an S, an A. Sorry, it's not very clear here. So let's try to match list followed by an S, an A, a space, or a minus in pacman.log. The way to do that is you want list followed by an S, an A, a space, or a minus in pacman.log. And here we go. Thing important to notice here, if you use S like that, it will work as well. But, and it's an interesting case where you will see that extended regular expression minus E and Perl regular expression minus P are different, because if you use extended regular expression like that, you can see that the backspace S doesn't work as intended in that case. So, I mean, again, my advice, if you use regular expression, just use minus P. It's the most powerful regular expression flavor you can find, at least for grep. Last exercise, what if we want to try to match everything which is not a letter, uppercase or uppercase, and not a number in pacman.log? How to do that? Well, so we want everything which is not a letter, not a digit, and when you do 0 minus 9, again, it's the range between 0 and 9, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. In pacman.log, if you do that, you will have every letters and every numbers, digits in pacman.log. If you don't want them, you need to negate everything. And this time, it will only match everything which is not a letter, uppercase and lowercase, and not a digit. Alright, that's all for this video. I will continue this series about grep and regex. Please tell me what you think, give me some feedbacks for me to improve and be more helpful and useful for you. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I wish you a great rest of your day.